Pinot only grows in these tiny little spots throughout the world. It's almost like truffles. You can try to grow truffles in Oregon, but they're not going to taste like truffles from Alba or truffles from France. Pinot Noir really sort of exhibits the character of the place where it's grown, which is fantastic when you have the perfect match of grape and ground. But if you grow it, for example, we grew 35 Pinot Noir vines in our backyard in Long Beach. They admirably expressed the Long Beach terroir. They smelled of sea spray and petroleum. Oh. So and stewed pickles or something. It's Pinot Noir is just one of those things that if you get it spot on, it can just blow the top of your head off. And if you taste something that was grown in an incorrect match for Pinot Noir, it's very obvious. I always say Pinot Noir is like the princess and the princess in the pea. That you can lay her down anywhere, but if she's at all uncomfortable, she'll let you know immediately. Fortunately, we are standing on some of the most hallowed ground in the New World for growing Pinot Noir. And it would be very difficult for me to say that I would want to grow Pinot Noir anywhere else because it's a small region, it's a new region, it's a region where sort of dedicating my professional career to something that's emerging is probably more important than going into an established area like Napa Sonoma and trying to get your reputation as a winemaker. It's very, very difficult. I think putting your roots down early in a region that's just emerging as a quality region gives you a lot of opportunity to make your mark and be sort of important in the region, and that's sort of what I'm interested in doing here in the Santa Rita Hills, is being a leading proponent of standing on any soapbox that's provided me to kind of slam my fist down and say what an amazing place to grow Pinot Noir. And it all starts in the Miocene era, about 20 million years ago, when this was all seabed. So we're all standing on the ocean bottom. This is the bottom of the Pacific Ocean that got shoved up during a massive tectonic event when the North American tectonic plate actually went under the Pacific plate about 20 million years ago. This whole region sort of began rising out of the ocean, and basically the mountains had reached most of their elevation probably around 17 million years ago, when all of these mountain ranges right now that are going east-west were actually formed 90 degrees different in a north-south orientation, which makes sense. Here's California, here's the Pacific plate. The Pacific plate hits the North American tectonic plate, buckles, and all of these mountain ranges form by the buckling and the earthquakes and the tectonic shifts, so they all form in a north-south orientation. Well, I don't want to worry you, but the same impact did something crazy to this little peninsula that's now called Point Conception. It knocked this entire area off the tectonic plate. So we're actually on a free-floating cookie of land that's just loosely attached to the North American continent. You know, you wonder, well, are we going to be swimming anytime soon? I think we're probably safe for today's tasting, but within a couple 100,000 years, this entire peninsula is going to break. It's still moving, turning clockwise and crunching up the coast of California. It started, the mountain ranges started north-south, now they're east-west, and before they get much more than 10 or 15 degrees further, they're going to crumble into the Pacific Ocean. So I think one of the amazing messages of Clos Pepe is we're standing on borrowed ground. Wasn't always here, won't always be here, but just so happens today and during my lifetime, it's a beautiful and perfect place to grow Pinot Noir. So it's that sort of serendipitous providence that just said, well, you know, I love the sort of the transient nature just of this place. It's magical because I know it's on the way out slowly.